G'day guys, I'm Greg. Welcome to Bag of Bricks number 9. Back in its fortnightly slot on a Sunday. Gonna make this a proper thing now, as I technically don't have any other distractions other than my family, as I am unemployed as of Friday. Well, technically today. First time in 13 years that's been the case. Last time this happened was when I went travelling for 6 months, or actually for a year, but ended up being 6 months because I got a job within 6 months. So it's a temporary thing. I'm having a rest. I'm going to help my wife do her business predominantly, so I'll technically be employed by her, but my plan is to do a couple of other things myself as well. I've got some freelance work, things like that lined up, so I'm not going to be wanting. But one of my main things is I really want to get my GJBricks channel, brand, everything like that sorted to where I want it to be. I want to put some focus into it. I've been feeling really guilty about it lately, you know, all those things, like you're working, you've got your family, you've got things to do at home, it's like all those things, you feel guilty about your passion, your hobby. So now I'm not actually working, my wife's sort of going to be taking over, her business is starting to kick in from the COVID thing. Seems like a good time to do it, but I digress. We are here to have a catch up about everything else, so that's a minor thing. What are we going to talk about today? SpaceX. Awesome. What's happening with Studsberg, some Lego news and rumours and things like that. What am I going to be getting in the next few weeks in terms of Lego sets, and anything else I can think of that, you know, seems to fit with a blog meant to be about Lego, not about me being unemployed or the fact that my dog's been going to the vet for the last 2 or 3 weeks solidly. Started off with lumps, then turned into skin irritation. Anyway, so lumps are malign, whatever the word is, and his rash is just a stress rash related from the operation to have the lumps removed. So he's fine. His name's Archie. He's 13 years old. Crazy dog. He's got a cone on his head at the moment, and my God, does he bump into me a lot. Anyway, I'm going to start with SpaceX. How fucking awesome is that? They flew people into space now. I love SpaceX. It's terrible. I'm an Elon Musk fanboy, or at least I'm a fan of what he does. I'm not necessarily a fan of his. He can be a bit strange, but his businesses are out of this world, literally, unless you count the Boring Company, which is under this world technically. It kind of works up and down, but yeah, how awesome. I love watching SpaceX like launches and landings. Like every time they nail that landing, like you just expect them to do it now, but every time they do it, it's still amazing. Every single time that rocket's coming down from way out there and lands in this little tiny spot. I was reading something about them earlier on, where or watching a video about them earlier on, where they were when they first started, their target accuracy was 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers. Their rocket came down and landed within a 10-kilometer radius. Now it's 10 meters. That's how far their technology has come since they started in 2011. It's just mind-boggling. It's a fascinating video I was watching about, I think it's from the channel's called Real Engineering, worth checking out. They talks about how the factors that go into the fact that they can launch this rocket and get it to come back down the way they did. It's just phenomenal. I love SpaceX. I think they're a brilliant company. And it's even more amazing to see them launch people into space finally. That is amazing. And I truly believe that Elon Musk will pull off what he wants to do about going to Mars in the next, 10 years or so. I truly believe he'll be one of the pioneers, that his company will make that happen. So awesome, amazing to see that happen. I did watch all the videos, the launches, the landings, the inside the capsule with the 2 astronauts, which I thought was really lovely. They called it the Endeavour because that was the last ship they went up on. They were 2 of the spaceship space shuttle pilots, which is really cool. So to call it the Endeavour, and the history of the Endeavour, and the fact that it was a US launch for the first time in, since like 2011 or something like that. It's the first launch on US soil for 10 years or 9 years or something like that. And yeah, so they called it the Endeavour because of the history of the Endeavour and the United States. So, oh, that was kind of cool. I like that. But they sent 2 people up on a reusable rocket. How cool is that? It's not quite got the glamour of the space shuttle, I have to say, but when they were doing the tour inside, it's amazing how far everything's come along from those screens, like for the dials and stuff like that, you know, the old green HUDs, and now they've basically got my TV, like 6 of my TVs in front of them, you know, and they're like all touch screens, and they said, oh, we've got some buttons, but I don't do a lot. It's just amazing to see. I love it. I love watching it. SpaceX is just so cool. Man, they've sold me on that one. I want to go to space now. Damn it, might be a bit old. One day, maybe. Actually, my kids, I truly believe my kids will go up into space. They'll have that opportunity if they want to. That will happen. But I fear I'm not going to happen for me in my lifetime, but they might get to do it in my lifetime. So I don't think they'll take old people up. Anyway, it's been a good week for Lego stuff. Got my Monkey Kid review out. If anyone's not watched that, go and watch it. Link's in the top right corner. If you're on iTunes or anywhere else, go to YouTube/GJBricks and it's on there. It's an amazing review I did, I have to say. Actually, that set really made me happy because it took me back to my childhood. Again, here I am, sounding like an old fart here today, but really took me back to my childhood. The playset features really did remind me of like those awesome sets like Mars Crusaders and Action Man that used to transform into bases. Love it. I really want to see more of that from Lego. I'm not going to spoil my review, and you should go and watch all 40 minutes of my review. It wasn't meant to be a 40-minute review, but that's how much I enjoyed the set. But yeah, go and check that out. And then there's another bucket load of sets arriving tomorrow, or launching tomorrow. Well, in a few minutes, I'm going to be ordering a couple of them. Unfortunately, I can't stop myself. I seem to be addicted to Lego at the moment. So I'll be ordering a couple of the Marvel sets that are coming out. And one of the Jurassic World sets, because I love Jurassic World. I did get my haunted house this week. Hooray! I haven't had a chance to start building it yet though. I did want to start yesterday, but I was absolutely cream crackered last night. I don't know what was going on. I had to go to bed early. I ended up sleeping for like 14 hours or something yesterday. Like, it was insane. I haven't slept that long in a long time, so I don't know if I was sick or something, but anyway, feeling a bit brighter now, as you can tell. Beer in hand. Just making sure I've got my copper compliance. Here we are, drinking beer on a video. How is copper going? Has anything happened with copper, or is it like really unimportant at the moment? Everyone's got a false sense of security because there's more important things going on like COVID and riots and things like that in the US, and copper now is really not an important thing. Is it suddenly going to like slam down on everybody once all of this is over? Like, serious question. Like, is it like was it something we were all worried about and then nothing happened of it, or what? I'm curious. I really am curious as to what people think is going to happen there. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. Don't care about that. I do care about that, but I don't care about that, if it makes sense. It's not really my primary thing. What else is happening? I was looking for a couple of other sets actually around at the moment. Oh, a couple of the sets that should be out that I can't find, like the Minions sets. And I was watching Jabbo over on Brixar today, and he was doing his sort of thoughts on that set, and he made one really valid point, which I can fully agree with. And I thought sort of not quite the same as him, but I'd been disappointed that the third Minion was an alternate build of the other Minions. And listening to him talk, it actually made me realise what would have been perfect for them is to do like a Brickhead style build. So they're, you know, single box, single Minion, and they could apply that to any theme anywhere, any of their franchises. They could do those mini bases. So Lego, if you're listening, that's what you should do, and that's my official opinion. Anybody agrees with me, let me know down in the comments here. If you're on iTunes and co, come to GJBricks on YouTube and put the comment down below. But no, so how cool would that be though? Like a Brickhead style, like base feature, base thing you could build. It reminds me again back to my childhood. Reminds me of the old Micro Machine sets you used to get. God, I sound so old today. We had the best toys in the 80s and 90s. Honestly, we really did. Like, you didn't have all these health and safety things. Toys just were toys. Like, you know, there were certain things you couldn't do, but on the whole, they were just awesome toys. Like, we had so many things. There weren't the restrictions on certain stuff and things like that. And, you know, Transformers were amazing, and Action Man and Mars Crusaders, one of the best toys ever. I wish they'd bring that one back. He-Man, brilliant. But Micro Machines, like these little tiny cars that you can't really sell now because children will choke on them because they are tiny. But they were awesome. I've got tons and tons and tons of them in the UK. But what happened was, here's a phone. They literally came in like a box that like opened up, and you could build like a little set. Like, so in the box would be the parts to build like a car wash or a police station, a heliport, things like that. I'm thinking those Minions are kind of similar, you know, they open up and there's a base in there. Like, sell them like Brickhead sets. That would be fantastic. I should submit that to Lego Ideas. Although technically they've done it, but not in that way. Could work. Honestly, I just was thinking about it earlier on, and Jabbo really kind of made me think about that, and I think that's a really good idea. Bricks Art, if you are watching this week, thank you for that idea. I think it's fantastic. I think we should talk about that idea if you agree with me. Come up with a way to make that happen. Because honestly, like Batman heads, all of the Marvel characters, all of the DC characters, Star Wars characters, like they would be amazing fun. And you could get the set you wanted, like, you know, a Boba Fett head that opened up into a place that I always Boba Fett as my example because I love Boba Fett. I've got the helmet to build still. I will get to that one this week. By the way, should I buy the Iron Man helmet? I'm on the fence. I really am on the fence about that one. I love Iron Man. I'm just not 100% sold on the head. But yeah, that would be so cool. And yeah, love it. And they could apply it to anything, like, you know, pirate sets, stuff like that. You know, little pirate head opens up, or you know, something like that turns into a ship, perhaps. You know, how cool would that be? Next line of Lego toys there. There you go. The what could we call them? The brick, no, because you've got block heads or brick heads, sorry. What could you call them? Brick sets? Brick sets? I don't know. Play bricks. Something like that. Anyway, I digress again. I could go on that for hours. I was just thinking about it. It got me so excited. What a great idea. Lego train, maybe. Seems to be very likely we're going to get a Lego train in the next month or so. 1st of July is the rumour. There was a creator number that was sort of expected to be a train, and I did do a video this week that I'm considering taking down because I don't really want Lego's lawyers coming at me. But I was so excited about having a Lego train coming out. I just had to share my thoughts on it. I would like to correct one thing in it though, beyond the fact that I forgot about the Disney train last year, which I really do need to get at some point. And that was that it actually is an alligator train, not a crocodile train. If you go and look at the proper media, it's actually, alligator trains are the ones that actually have the hinged ends, and the crocodile ones are the ones with the snout ends that aren't hinged. So there you go, there's a difference there. It's an alligator train. We'll call it crocodile, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, someone corrected me from one of the train groups today. I'm like, oh, thanks. But yeah, how cool. It looks fantastic. I mean, there's been sets around, there's loads of fan mocks and things like that. Like, it's one of those ones, it's a real challenge for Lego to do it without it looking too much like something that some of the fans have done, because it's a big risk. Like, obviously, you know, Ghostbusters HQ is a good example of that, where someone had actually designed a Ghostbusters HQ that looked an awful lot like the one Lego released, and they've submitted it to Lego Ideas and it got rejected because Lego already had it in the pipeline, apparently. You know, and it's amazing how similar those two sets look. So that was a very messy situation, and there's so many sites out there selling plans and selling sets. Like GJBricks sells that crocodile locomotive, their own design of it. Yeah, if Lego treads on their toes, like, you know, it could damage their business quite heavily. Like, I don't think it will, but it could do. I mean, because obviously their price would be considerably lower than GJBricks can build it for, unless GJBricks has got some deal with Lego to get the parts cheap. But it's very hard. There's other companies out there that sell plans for trains and things like that. They're all locos that I don't think Lego would build. There's a few that they would probably, but a lot of them are actually tend to be bigger trains. So, well, I was in a chat today talking about whether or not it's a 6 wide or a 7 wide train. Now the plates are definitely 7 wide. I think it's a 7 wide on the whole. It's not 7 wide overall. It's a 6 body with a 7 decking. So, and as I said in my video about the train, you go with 7 because it lets you put a bit more detail into the train than the 6 does. If you don't believe me, go and look at some of the 7 wide designs out there and you'll see what I mean. That extra stud adds so much realism to a train. I was looking at a fabulous steam engine someone had designed today. Fabulous. And it was 7 wide. And it made a difference. The only thing, it did go to 8 wides where the pistons were, which is fine. That's what you expect, because the wheels are 6 wide and the pistons add 1 to that, so that becomes 8 wide. You can't really get around that problem nicely. It wouldn't work very well. So that was it. So the body was 7 wide, the pistons were 8 wide. Looked absolutely stunning, and I really do want to build my own steam train now, so I might start collecting the parts for that. I really need to get into, speaking of which, how many of you use the LDD software? I'm considering installing it. I'm just conscious of how much time that will destroy. And I'm still, as I've said before, an old school builder. I like to build things by touch. You know, I like to pick bricks up and do things. The trouble with that is I buy what I think I need, and it's never what I need. Always missing a few parts. So I do want to go down that path. I was watching GJBricks did a really good video the other day. Man, that guy's killing it. Robin, I love your work, dude. You're smashing it. I love your approach to everything. You're very methodical and open, and yeah, I like seeing your thought process and hearing how you do these things, and seeing you went into CAD this week to show how you were working out what parts usage and things like that to minimize your wastage, which I thought was really quite cool. And I'm just like, I just don't have time to do that with kids and a job, but I don't have a job now, so maybe I've got time to start looking at that, and I should. But do need to buy a new computer though. My old computer is really creaking now. It's a 10-year-old computer, iMac. It's done well. I put an SSD in it, but alas, I think a few things are starting to wear out. Actually, I don't think it's them. I think it's the OS. It's on the latest OS it could take, and I think there was an issue with it and something in that machine, because I found lots of people on the forums who have the same problem with it, where it has a sleep-wake issue, where it tries to go to sleep and that just forces it to crash and restart. So there's some issue there that Apple haven't fixed, despite the fact they still issue updates for that operating system, which is a shame. I just realised my kids have been in here today, and I think they were leaning on my chair, and it's now not as solid as it was, which is a shame. I do need to get a new chair though. This stool is hurting my back. The Lego room. You in the Lego room at the moment? Anyone who follows me on Instagram, I've seen a couple of photos going up. Tomorrow I will be going to Bunnings. Yay! Anyone doesn't know what Bunnings is? It's like the most amazing shop for adults in Australia, where you can just go and buy all kinds of garden stuff and house stuff and all this DIY, and literally anything you want DIY is there. It's an amazing shop, great experience. Sausage sizzle on a Saturday, or on the weekend, sorry, although that's been cancelled currently because of COVID. They also do face painting and stuff for the kids. It's just an amazing, it's a place you go on a weekend and you go, what do I need? Well, I need some, maybe I need some grass seed, or I need to buy a new pair of gloves or something like that. But anyway, going there tomorrow to get some wood to build up Studsberg, and I'm planning to do a video maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. I want to draw up a couple of pictures. I've got a map drawn out of what I want. I've got the wood I want to get cut. I'm not going to do brick built levels. I'm sorry people, it's so expensive to do that one. And when you see the number of levels I want to put in, ain't going to happen. I have made more space though. Behind here, this is a whole extra table here that goes the whole length of that wall. That's a 3-meter wall. I've got all my train sidings over here. You can see most of my trains are there. I've got 2 sets of trains that are still in boxes over there that I don't have enough sidings for. So I've still got my train problem, but that whole area there, yeah, so trains, and then yeah, it's going to be good. I will do a video on it, and I want to show you my inspiration for it, but it is coming. I have, honest to God, been too busy to actually get into it, and it's one of those things where I keep looking at my room going, oh it's such a mess. But the minute I get this sorted out and start putting the city back together again, it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be the best layout I've done. It does build on the last iteration of it, with some huge differences, especially around the layering. And I'm not just having one big raised area. I'm going to have lots of little raised areas around it. I really want to kind of capture that SimCity 2000 feeling. I love that game. That was one of my favourite games ever. I love SimCity. I'm just a big SimCity fan. Apart from the newest one, which I did really enjoy up to a point, which was the point where the cities were too small, which is where City Skylines absolutely crushes SimCity, sadly. Makes me sad to say that, but Cities was a much better game. I'm sorry to say, Maxis, I blame EA, not your fault. Seriously, it is. If you go and watch all the videos about the interviews and things like that, and the interviews with Maxis developers, EA put a requirement on Maxis that it had to go online. At that point, it absolutely crippled the game, absolutely, especially with all the launch issues. So, and that was what destroyed Maxis, sadly. Great company, made great games. SimCity, oh, brilliant. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I've got my haunted house down here to put in. Woohoo! I've got a much larger harbour area, which means that this will actually fit into it. Hooray! Oh, incidentally, I got some of these bases that came with the DC sets, and they're really the transparent ones for making it look like figures are flying, and it's absolutely perfect for this dude because he's got that massive jetpack on his back that you couldn't possibly control, but it works really well because it makes it look like he's flying. But yeah, the Monkey Kid set, awesome. I'm big into that line now. I kind of want to buy some more bits from that lineup, I have to say. the mech's awesome. That's not going to happen though for a while. That one's an expensive set. But I did love what Jang did this week. If you haven't seen that, he did a little video where he put some of these smaller mocks together. So he had the toy store from the Creator line. He had the side build from the Monkey Kid mech set, and a couple of other ones, and he put them all together in a line. It looked awesome. It looked really, really good. Kudos to Jang for doing that one. He was just having to play with it and put a video impromptu out, and it looked fantastic. I will link it in the corner here. I'm trying to remember to put the link in now. But yeah, really, really good. Loved it. Loving his work. What else is going on? Yeah, so Studsberg is going to be coming back to life this week. I have I've got an exciting delivery this week as well. Should be, according to FedEx, it's going to arrive on Wednesday, so I'll try and get it up on Wednesday night. But I am blooming excited for that one. I'm still waiting on one of my Bricklink orders from Canada. Mail is still working now. I got my English order, which was for the magnet for my commemorative train, which I now have a second one of, which I'm very excited about. And I had another order from Canada, and I'm waiting for a second order from Canada. So they were both dispatched about the same time, but one arrived a week and a half ago and the other one hasn't arrived yet, which is a shame. So fingers crossed that'll come soon. Lots going on. I was talking to Dr. McBrick just now, Mike, and we're going to start doing a couple of videos as well together. We've just passed the 2,000 mark. Yay! It's been a long time coming. It seems I've got some momentum back again in the last couple of weeks though, which is good. I'm trying to now I've got a bit more time, I want to focus a bit more on the stuff that really interests me. So Studsberg is going to come back to life. I do enjoy my reviews. I enjoy building and reviewing sets. They do take time, but I do like doing them. So I want to try and get a bit of a better space set up for that. And obviously the budget to actually buy all those sets is a slight trick. So I'll also be doing some updates to my website as well. I've been looking at that, and I put a theme in there about 2 years ago, and I've never touched it other than, you know, rearranging a few widgets on it. So I'm actually going to go in and do a bit of design on that one and work on the GJBricks branding a little bit. I just want to give it a bit more life, because some of the photos are stuff I did a year and a half ago still. So yeah, I want to bring all of those things to life. I want to do a bit of work. I want to try and get the traffic up on my website a little bit as well. So I've been posting a few more things, and I was actually thinking, I've started posting a few mocks and things that I've found that I really enjoy. So what I'm going to do is try and bring back once a week, like my mocks of the week. So whether or not that's like a Friday night video or something like that, and I do like, you know, the Monday to Friday mocks. Here's my top 5 for the week. Go and check them out and do that. I think I'm probably going to do that one, because I know people used to like my my 5 and a bit videos. So that'll be sort of that, but not quite as involved as I did with those ones, because they used to take so long to do. So these will be a bit quicker, and they'll align with what's on my website as well. So just a summary video if you haven't been looking at my website. So yeah, all change, all go, all, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I'm also trying to get my site in the, I'm trying to get my site as a fan media site as well, because I've started reporting on the new stuff, but to get the press releases before they go up is quite a pain in the butt. I have to go and get the press releases when they go up, which is annoying. I'd rather have them ready to go. I try and get them up as quick as possible, but it's just, yeah, not as good. So I'm working on that too. So just a few things. I really want to involve my channel and put some effort into it, because I love it. I love Lego. Like, you can tell I love Lego. I want to be more involved in it. I need to do a video with Joss as well. I got some pullback motors recently, and her and Callie were building cars with that today. Joss built a flying red car. So although she did put the wrong wheels on it, and I had to put elastic bands on them. Those big plastic wheels and pullback motors do not go together well. Who would have thought? But she was adamant it had to happen, so I fixed it with elastic bands. I do need to get some better elastic bands though. Anyway, I think that was it. I think I covered everything I said I was going to cover today. Yeah, it's been good. I've got a few more sort of things. I want to put a bit more effort into thoughts and things like that. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. If you've got any comments or suggestions, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. If you're on iTunes or listening to me on one of the podcasting channels, please come to GJBricks and have a look, or visit the GJBricks.com website and comment on there. do want to start doing that kind of thing. I do want to kind of try and listen to you guys a bit more and get a bit more engagement from you in terms of what you want from me, because I want to be doing stuff that you're interested in. I want to be talking about the things you want to know. I want you to talk about the things that are coming up. I want you to tell me which bits of my channel you like the most. Is it the historical stuff, the builds, the mocks, the reviews? What is it? I'm trying to do a lot of things at the moment, and it does take a lot of time. I'm trying to make use of this downtime I've got at the moment to really kind of nail and grow my channel. So that's where I'm at. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. I do post regularly, and if you're on iTunes and the like, please give me a good rating on there so other people find my channel. It does help. And don't forget to go and subscribe to GJBricks on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening to me. I do really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next bag of bricks. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel, as I will have more videos going up this week.